Hello everyone, it's Teresa with Critters Crochet and it's Tutorial Tuesday. And today I am coming on to show you how to do another corner to corner, and this time we're going to be using the half double crochet. Now you basically, I'll get this back out again, the chart that we used the last time. You're basically following the same path as of going down, first square, then the next row this direction, third row, fourth row, and the decreasing. That's all done pretty much the same way. There's one difference though, and it's how many chains you do when you do the excuse me, my little tickle in my throat this morning. The only difference is in the chains that you make when you increase. When you do the corner to corner with the double crochet, we start off with 6 chains. With a half double crochet, you're only going to do 5, and that is because you only need your 3 chains to crochet into to make your block, and then the 2 remaining chains are what make your half double crochet. So you need 2 chains instead of 3 chains. For the double, you just need 2 chains for the half, so that's where you get your 5. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start off with our 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, and remember, still pinch that 3rd chain. That just keeps you from having to count so much. 4, 5. And now we're going to do half double crochets, and we're going to go into that chain that we pinched, which would be the 3rd chain from your hook instead of the 4th. And so we're going to yarn over and do our half double crochet in that 3rd chain from the hook. And then a half in the next 2 chains. Well, and there's our first square. All right. Now we're going to increase. Excuse me. We're going to increase. So you want to do your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains. You're going to go to the 3rd chain from the hook, and you're going to half double crochet in that chain and the next 2. And now I didn't show you before, but that gives you your 1, 2, 3 halves, and then that chain 2 is the 4th one. Then you turn your work this way, and you've got that space again where your chain is. You're going to slip stitch into that chain. That brings your square where it needs to be. And we're going to chain just 2. Because we're making that next square. So you only chain 2 because we're doing half doubles, not doubles. And then you do 3 halves in that chain space. 1, 2, 3. That gives you that first square and the next 2. Okay? Now we're going to increase again for our 3rd row. 1, 2, 3. Pinch that 3rd chain. 4, 5. Go into that chain we pinched. Make your first half. And then another half in the next 2 chains. Half and half. Okay? Turn your work, go into that space where you made your chain 2 and slip stitch, chain 2, and then 3 half double crochets in that same chain space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we need 3. We're on row 3. We need 3 squares. So we're going into that chain space again where we had that chain 2 and slip stitch to bring them together. Chain 2 and 3 more halves into that space. 1, 2, 3. And there you have your 3rd row. Now we're going to do our 4th row. Chain 3, 4, 5. Half in that 3rd chain from the hook. And then a half double crochet in the next 2 chains. Okay, turn that work and go into that next chain, slip stitch into that chain, chain 2, 3 halves, 1, whoop, 2, well, see if my hands are going to cooperate today. 3. There's 2. Now we'll go into this chain space, slip stitch, 2 chains, and then 3 half double crochets in that chain space. Okay. Go into that next chain space, into that next square, and slip stitch to connect. Chain 2, and again 3 halves in that chain space. 1, 2, 3. And there's our 4. So now we're doing a 4x4 like I did with the double. So now we're ready to decrease. So instead of chaining our 5, remember where that would be increasing, we're not doing that. We're going to decrease, so that means we're putting 1, 2, 3, 3 squares right here. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and turn our work, and we're going to go into, well, let me move this out of the way so you can see it. We're going to go 1, 2. With a double there were 3 stitches, with a half there's only 2. So we'll go into this, the top of this, and slip stitch, and the top and our chain and slip stitch, and that gets us across that square. And now we're not increasing, so we're only chaining 2 to make our first square, and then we're doing our 3 halves in that space. 1, 2, and again when you do that decrease, that brings that right here, and you've got your side, you've got your corner made, and you're starting your side over here. You've got 1, 2, and you're starting your 3rd side. Okay, then it's just like before. We go to the chain 2 space in the next square and slip stitch, chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. All right, then we're going to go to the next square and slip stitch, chain 2, and 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we're decreasing here too, because we're making just a 4x4 square. So we're just slip stitching into that, chain, and nope, sorry, we're slip stitching into that, and that's it, because we're decreasing. We're going to start making our side going this way. So now we're going to turn, and once again we're going to do 1, 2, and into our space. I think on that first one I only did 1, 2. Yeah, I did just 2. I want you to do 3 because we're going to go into this one. 1, 2, and then the chain space. And I did that wrong on the other one, so I'm making a correction here. You see how you have, this is where you're where you connected. You're not going to go into that one. Where you slip stitch, we're not going into that stitch. We're going to skip that one and go into this one, and the chain space. My apologies, I didn't do that on the first one. So we go 1, 2, and then in the chain space is 3 slip stitches. Okay, chain 2, and then your 3 half double crochets in that chain space. Whoops. 2, 3, slip stitch into that for the next square to connect, chain 2, and then 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and you have your 2 squares for that second decrease. So we're just going to slip stitch. We've got to the side, so you can see how we have our 1, 2, 3, 4. All we need is one more right here in the corner to finish this. So we're going to turn our work and we're going to do our slip stitches across the top. 1, 2, and into the chain space. 3, chain 2 for our first half, and then 3 more halves in the corner in the chain space. 1, 2, oops, 3, and then we join because this is our last square to complete, corner to complete, and you're going to just yarn over one more time and fasten off, and there's your half double crochet corner to corner. It just makes the squares a little smaller, and so it just depends on the size of your project. If you want a larger project, if you want your project to be a little larger, use the double crochet. If you want your stitches to be a little bit more smaller and more, more defined, or more, what word I want to say, more dense, then use the half double crochet. It'll give you a little bit more spaces, but it won't be as spacey as a double crochet. And that's how you do the corner to corner using half double crochet. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I hope you have a terrific Tuesday, and also in the comments let me know if you'd like me to show you how I do color changing with corner to corner. I can show you that and what I use to make my bobbins and how I change color with my corner to corner. If you'd like me to show that, let me know, and I'll be happy to do that in another Tuesday tutorial. So again, I hope you all have a terrific Tuesday, and please like and comment, and also if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And I will talk to you again in the next one, guys. Have a great day. Bye.